What's up, guys? In this video we're going to do a review and an overview of a Generation 3 PVS-14 from AGM. I'm going to be as transparent as possible with this review. I don't want to give any of my subscribers any bad information because I care about the people who cared enough about me to actually click that subscribe button. I want to tell you what I paid for it, where I got it from. I'll tell you the specs or the tube data and the blems that are in this tube, and just share if I think it's a good buy. I did not buy this device from AGM directly. I bought it from a company called Focus Camera online. I ordered it February 19th. I received it February 24th, that is 2023. So I would have got a lot faster if UPS hadn't taken so long. So basically I click it, I bought it, it was in the mail the following morning, so got it pretty quick. I paid just a little bit over $2,700. This is a Generation 3 PVS-14 green phosphor. It is autogated and does have manual gain. The exact model number is PVS-14 3AL3. So the first 3 stands for Generation 3. I think the A might stand for autogated possibly, I'm not sure on that one. L3 stands for level 3. AGM does have a tier grading system, so 1, 2, and 3, 1 being the best, 3 being theoretically the worst on the grading system. Since this was the worst on the grading system, let's take a look at the blemishes. There is only 1 blemish in Zone 1, there is 4 total in Zone 2, and 6 total in Zone 3. So 11 total. Realistically, when you look through this PVS-14, you see 2 spots that are made up of these small blemishes, but you're not really going to notice it unless you actually look for it and you have the right background to actually look for it. It in no way affects the performance of the device. Now we'll go over the tube data. The center resolution is 64, the signal to noise ratio is 23, so a little bit low. Obviously you get the figure of merit by multiplying those two numbers, 64 multiplied by 23, and that is of course 1472, so just below that 1500 threshold mark. A little bit low, but we'll take a look and see how this performs. The luminance gain is 74. So what do you get in the box when you buy this PVS-14 from AGM? Well, let's take a look at that. You do get a data sheet. In my experience, you get a data sheet with a Generation 3, and I have seen them on some Generation 2 PVS-14s. And that's my personal experience only, so I can't speak for other people. Get the manual, get a box, the PVS-14 itself. You will get a day cap with a pinhole in it, a sacrificial lens, a demist lens, a piece of gutted paracord to tie it off to a helmet or your head mount. You do get a head mount and a bayonet style J-arm. Just keep in mind this bayonet style J-arm will not work with the Wilcox G24 mount. You will need a dovetail style J-arm. So there are 2 different styles of J-arms and mounts, dovetail and bayonet. This is a bayonet. You also get a alkaline battery. I recommend using a lithium battery. You get a cloth to clean off your lens. You get an eye cup. You get a bag, and you also get a shoulder strap. This is one of the older mil-spec style bags that you can clip onto your belt and tie around your leg if you want to carry it on your kit with you. Alright, the first video I'm going to show you is me filming in my side yard. It's the darkest spot of my house. I live in a town which has no street lights because they say they don't want to disturb the observatories, but I think they're just too cheap to put in street lights. And the nearest light source was about 40 yards away. It wasn't shining directly on me, but it was a relatively dark environment for an urban area. In the video, I'm going to film with the manual gain all the way down. I'll bring it all the way up and bring it back down so you can see how that manual gain has an effect on the tube.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at, manual gain all the way down. There's a car that's passing behind me, probably 15 yards behind me, so you see some light. Manual gain almost all the way up, it's all the way up, now we're going to go back down. Now the manual gain's all the way down, and here's what we're looking at again. Flashlight one more time.
Keep in mind, I'm filming with a very cheap Android camera phone, and it doesn't do the PVS-14 justice. It does look a lot better in person. This next video, I'm going to show a video of me using a full power laser, just so you can see how it works with that. The video you just watched, I was using a full-powered dbal A2 laser. I had it on the dual IR illuminator mode. You just couldn't tell because the phone camera isn't very good at picking that up. But one thing I wanted to tell you guys is that I had my PVS-14 gain dialed all the way down. So the image was pretty dim, and the reason I did that was I was trying to protect the tube because I was using a full-power laser in close quarters with a lot of reflective surfaces around me, like a chain link fence and just cars and stuff. So keep in mind the picture was a little bit dim, and it looks a lot better when I have the gain dialed, 30-40% of the way or halfway up like I normally have it dialed in. So my experience with this device, since I've had it for almost 3 months, I do have at least 30 hours of runtime on this device, probably closer to 40, and I have shot rifles, pistols with it, both actively and passively, and I have used a lot of full power lasers with this. The one from the video is a full powered dbal A2. Let's go over the pros and cons with this PVS-14 from AGM. The first pro is going to be you can buy it and it will immediately get shipped to your house. There's no lead times. You don't have to wait for some company to get it in stock or some night vision builder to actually build it for you. You click it, you buy it, and I know if you stayed up, say, a year for a PVS-14, the lead time with some manufacturers could be like a couple months, and that could feel just as long as the initial year it took you to save up for this device. So being able to buy this and have it shipped to your house immediately is nice. The next pro is going to be the price. In my opinion, it's not a bad price, around $2,700-ish for a Generation 3 green phosphor. It does perform. Your experience may be different, but I'm happy with what I paid for this, and I have had a lot of experience over the years with different devices. So in my opinion, it's a good buy for myself. Alright, the first con is going to be if you buy a PVS-14 or a dual tube system from AGM, most of the time you don't know what tube you're going to be getting, the intensifier tube, and you don't know the data on that intensifier tube, the reason they have the grading system, but that definitely is still a con. Most night vision companies are pretty transparent nowadays, and they tell you what tube you're getting and the data on that tube. Alright, the second con is going to be the lack of a mil-spec eyepiece and mil-spec glass. And it is not on par with a mil-spec eyepiece or glass. The eyepiece is actually a little bit smaller. And I have seen a sort of a ring effect with these devices. If you look at, say, a bright light and you look away from it, you will get like a ring path from seeing that light. I was not able to successfully recreate it on video, but I have seen that a couple times with this PVS-14. And I have seen it a lot with the dual tube systems from AGM. Regardless, I am happy with the performance of this device. It is, in my opinion, sufficient, and it's going to come down more to the operator behind the tube than the tube itself. I'd rather have one solid guy backing me up with a PVS-14 like this than 10 dipshits with panos that couldn't find their ass with their nods in their hands in the dark. When I use this PVS-14, I usually run this helmet setup and mountain setup. This is a Wilcox G24 mount, a Wilcox J-arm, and a hardhead veterans helmet. So just keep in mind, this helmet setup and mountain setup was another 1K. So it is a little bit expensive to actually, buy everything you need to get into night vision. In some cases, if you add a laser to that, you could spend even more money on the accessories than you did on the night vision itself. And I will be making a video about budget night vision loadouts. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, of course, leave your comments or questions down below in the comments section. And I'll see you guys in the next one.